Hey folks, Chris here from Colorado Hunter's Life again. Well, invariably, once a season I do it. Sometimes a couple times a season. But in this case, what I did was I'm up here in beautiful Colorado mountains, running some snow roads for some mountain lion tracks. And unfortunately, I reached for the very same camera that I'm filming with, took my eyes off the road, and I put the truck in the ditch. So now she's stuck pretty good, the whole right side of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to film myself hopefully getting out of here, give you a few quick tips on what to do in case you put your truck in the ditch and how to get out. I don't have chains on her right now, which if I had chains on I probably wouldn't even be filming this. Probably should have put them on, but I didn't. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the truck in four-wheel low because she's in four-wheel high. I'm going to straighten my wheels out so I'm not going against them. And I'm going to see if I can rock the truck in and out of the ditch and back up onto the roadway. If that doesn't work, well, we'll try some other measures to get her out. So that's the first step. So let's see if we can get her out. Alright, well she's stuck pretty good. Not even rocking, not even trying. The rear wheels are spinning. So the next step is, like I always do, I carry a couple shovels in my truck. So I'm going to put my gloves on and start digging. So I'm going to clear out all the snow I can away from that right side, get all the snow out from behind the tires, hopefully give them something to grip, and see if we can get her out that way. Alright, so did a bunch of digging, got differential cleared out, front differential cleared out, all wheels cleared out. Doesn't look like there's much snow contacting the frame anywhere. It's important if your vehicle's high centered to get the weight back on the wheels because that snow is going to hold up the vehicle. You're not going to have the traction to get yourself moving. If I can get this thing moving just a foot forward and backwards at a time, I'll get her out. Also, the thing I did is I took some of the real nice sandy soil that was over by the front right wheel and I packed it underneath the left wheels. Try to get me some grip on this snowpack. See if I can get a little bit of kind of sand action going on there. So we're gonna give her a shot, see if I can get her out now. All right, doesn't seem like it, but she's moving just a little bit. She wants to go backwards, doesn't want to go forwards. So I'm gonna do some more work on it, try to get some more grip on the tires. I'm pretty close to getting her. The important thing here, guys, is don't panic. Even if you can't get it out, I know I'm in the middle of nowhere. There's no one else around. It's cold. It's the snow's out, you know. But the reality is, I've got everything I need to survive in that truck. I could spend several nights out here and be fine. And I know that probably someone is going to wander down this road today at some point. And if not, just sit down and think, man. Make yourself some lunch. Do whatever you need to do to take a break. Just think about how you're going to get yourself out. If it means you got to walk 5 miles to the closest road, make that decision. Stick to main roads, to travel roads, so people can find you if they come looking for you. Make sure you take warm gear. It means you just sit and wait, which is usually the best strategy. You sit and wait. In this case, I'm pretty sure I got cell phone service. I'm lucky. Worst case is I know there's a really good friend of mine that's sitting back about an hour away that would be happy to come up here with his big Chevy and pull out my Chevy. So that's the last resort. But we're going to keep working on her. We're going to keep digging. We're going to try to get some more traction. I think next time we'll give her a shot. We'll get her out. Okay, so here's another trick I'm going to try. If you're like me and you were lazy and didn't put your chains on, but you had them in the truck, then here's an option you can try. Sometimes this works, not guaranteed. You can either lay your chain out behind the wheel and try to grab it in, or put it kind of on like I've got. Obviously I can't put the chains all the way on because the tire's on the ground. Now there's an option I got a jack, so I could jack the whole car up, get the wheel off the ground, put the chains on, let it down. And that's where we might end up going here next if this doesn't work. What I'm doing here is I've got the chain kicked underneath that tire as best as I can. I've got it laid out proper to go on both sides so I can get to the front and the back. And I'm going to put it in drive, or in reverse, because it seems to want to move in reverse. And I'm going to let the truck ease backwards and hope that that wheel will suck, since the wheels are spinning, will suck that chain under the tire and I'll be able to put it on proper. Or what's going to happen is that chain's going to slide off and it's going to give me about a foot or two of traction. And that might just be what I need of traction to get out of this thing. If that doesn't work, we'll go to the jack method. A couple words of warning: don't have anybody around the chains when you do this. Don't gas it, where you could fling the chains and spin them. You want to go nice and easy. And don't do this if you like your truck, because if you fling a chain, you can easily do some body damage. Now here I've obviously got an older Suburban. She's got plenty of battle scars already, and I'm not too concerned. So we'll give this a shot now. So as you can tell, didn't succeed at all. So next step is going to be to jack it up, put the chains on proper on the left side, see if that'll give me enough grip. You should have a set of chains. Get yourself a set of chains. These are just your mud chains. And typical chains you'll see most common come in a canvas bag. And this is my chain tensioner. This is a rubber chain tensioner. Not too fond of them, but it was the only ones I could find in my area. Every time I'm at a truck stop I see the good ones. I don't know why I don't buy them. But if you got the rubber ones and it's cold, what I'd suggest you do is when you go to set and put your chains on, take these, put them underneath the front heater of your vehicle, and let them sit there and warm up while you put the chains on. And that will help them be much more elastic when you actually go to tighten the chains down. So this will be a little non-traditional because I got the front end jacked up, because since I'm stuck I can't move forward. And I already tried the slipping them through with the wheel slipping, and that didn't work. So we're just going to put it on with it jacked up, which means I can spin the tire. So normally when you put these on, you put them on, drive over them, tighten them up, you'd be good. And I might do a video on that later. But so having your chain out, a couple things you need to know about your chain. You've got your cam tensioner. You want to make sure this is always on the outside of your tire. You can see it, my chains have little V-bars on them. You can see that right there. And those V-bars need to go on the outside of the tire so they contact the ground. You don't want those pointing in. You want the smooth side of the chain towards the tire for no damage. The V-bar is out to damage the road, if you want to think about that. And make sure you've got the right size chains for your car. These fit my 235s. They come in different sizes and standards, but do make sure that they are right. Don't put the wrong size tire chain on the wrong size car. So, first I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my chain out. I'm going to note where my cam tensioner is. I want it on the outside, and I want the V-bars up. They really only go on one way. You can put the cam tensioner on the end side, but you're going to hate life later when you do that. So, this will be a little bit tricky because I got to roll the chain around and I don't want it to come off the tire. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure everything's out, everything's free, there's no kinks. I want to lay it out, make sure nothing's... And now I'm going to try to hold the chain on as I spin the tire around. If I can do this right. So that I'm going to work at the top. I want to make sure the chain is nice and uniformly tight. And that inevitably will always happen. Once you do this a couple times, it gets fairly easy. You kind of learn the tips and the tricks of it. I like to rotate my cam tensioner towards the back side here and then bring the other side up to the tensioner. Now I found it's always easier if you put the first chain on the clasp on the back side first. I know from experience that I need to have this on the second link for this tire. But first time you put chains on, you might have to do a little experimentation, figure out where they fit on your car. Now, since I don't have a cameraman, it's going to be hard to zoom in. Hopefully you can see that. I'll try to get that. There's my cam tensioner. You've got a bail cover that'll cover the bail. I've got it on the back side. And I'm going to put this one on the second. Actually, this one's going to go on the third this time. See if we can get this tight on the third. So put it in until it's on the cam tensioner. You may have a little bit different style of system. This is the most common. Rotate it down and put the bail clasp over it. And that's it. I'm going to turn the tire around. Normally I just get out, drive it, kind of seat it, make sure it's good. That chain's nice and smooth and tight on there. Now I'm going to put my rubberized chain tensioner here to keep everything nice and tight. These go. You notice it's got a couple different clamps on it. Probably, some of them have 6, some of them have a ton. I only usually about 4, just enough to make sure the chain is super tight. I'm going to grab a hold of this little extra here because I just don't like the idea of that flopping around when I'm driving. I'm going to go straight across, down over to the chain. If you didn't warm these up and they're rubber, they're going to be super cold and they may even break on you. So I'd really recommend you warm them up. So that's 3. For what I'm doing, I'm feeling pretty good about that. That chain's not going anywhere. Even on the back side, it's pretty tight. So the next thing, you could run another 4th if you wanted. I'm going to let the tire down, and I'm going to go do that on the back of the car, and then we'll see if we can get this truck unstuck this way. All right, so tried digging. We cleared it out as much as we can. Might be able to clear out a little bit more, but at this point, it's just a traction issue. The truck's not being held up on the frame anymore. The truck just can't get traction. So what I've done is I've got my jack out. I've chained up the left side of the truck because I have access to it. It's not advisable to put chains on only one side of a truck, but if I'm only going to go 10 feet, probably not going to hurt anything. If this doesn't work, I might be able to get a jack into the right side and get a chain on the front right, but the front left is hopeless. It's buried against a bank. I'm not going to be able to get there in there and work really easy. I mean, that's the last ditch effort. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to try to rock it back and forth. We dug out, got chains on one side. I'm thinking this is going to work. I think we're going to get out with this one. She's out. A little hard work, a little persistence, a little thinking, and I got her out. So, again, this is Chris from A Colorado Hunter's Life. Find me over at www.acoloradohunterslife.blogspot.com. I hope you enjoyed the video on how to get yourself unstuck and how to self-rescue your vehicle in the high country of Colorado. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.